Welcome to the Morning Mayhem Show with the morning crew, Tom and Mama Manny.
And your host, Jim Amato.
Good morning, Woodland, and welcome to April 2nd. It is the second day of April. I made it through without any pranks. Any pranks played on you at all?
No, but I pranked.
You did? What did you do?
Well, I told my classes there were quizzes.
Oh, yes.
And we were getting out early. And then when I said there's snow Wednesday, Thursday, they didn't believe me. I said, no, this is real, no prank.
So there's some of the psychological pranks.
Yeah, they didn't trust me anymore.
Oh, no. Well, I can understand why. So today it's going to be more of a problem as well. How much stuff we putting up on here today?
A lot.
All right. It is an A day, and it is going to be the day before the SAT day that is going to take place tomorrow, which is a half day. Do seniors have to come in tomorrow for the SATs?
They do not, but I think they have a separate program.
They have something else that they're going to be doing?
Yes.
I did not.
I have sophomores.
We'll have to check in then. Well, here it says. It says the night before the test reminders, go to bed on time, wake up on time, eat breakfast, do your best, and definitely be at school by 7:20 a.m. tomorrow.
Breakfast served.
Breakfast is served here?
Snacks, yes.
Okay, because it says eat breakfast on this little reminder form. So
Yes.
we're going to have breakfast
And
as
they have
well.
gift cards, drawings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
While we're taking the PSATs, I could win stuff?
No, before for the juniors.
4.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, and the pom-pom poll of the week has been uncovered. So I guess it was something to do with what your favorite thing to eat on Easter weekend or whatever. Looks like chocolate won.
Oh, yeah.
It had 31 Peeps. It's chocolate versus Peeps.
Yep.
And there was 31 votes for chocolate. So did anyone have any Peeps for Easter? Anyone have?
Of course.
I mean, we talked about them.
Of course.
But-
Frozen.
Frozen Peeps. I thought it was microwave a Peep.
Try it.
I'm going to have to try it. All right. You learn something new every day.
Chocolate Kit Kats.
All right. There is a new pom-pom poll of the week, so stop by the media center and see what that is going to be. Seniors, it's the second day for your ticket sales. Tickets are $125 per person, and they're going to be on sale during all lunch waves, April 1st through April 12th. Make sure that you find out who you're going with. And all right.
Or stag.
Huh?
Or stag.
Yeah, or stag.
By yourself.
Group with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Hang out. That's what I meant. It's like who you're going to go with.
Yeah.
Usually, postponed to Tuesday, April 2nd is the Hawk Wings Kindness Club meeting, which was supposed to be yesterday. It's going to be today. It's in room 229. Our open house for NVCC is April 6th. That is this weekend. There are QR codes hanging in the hallway, and make sure you look those up. I'll leave the Woodland Sports to you. In this day of history, it was the first successful lung patient that we had. They tested the first iron lung. And from what I understand, the last iron lung patient, guy that was living in an iron lung for 50 years, just died, I think, last month. They were talking about how long he was living in an iron lung. And if you want to see what that looks like, look that up online. And that was what his life was for 50 long years. And in 1896, the very first movie theater opened. So we're so used to having movie theaters, it's really difficult to ascertain what a movie theater was like in 1896 with the moving pictures, the silent pictures. And that's where we got our start for cinema. And now, again, like I always say, now we have Marvel. So went from that all the way to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And
I was actually there, Jim, at that movie.
Were you really?
Yeah,
What was there? Do you remember what was playing?
It was a still movie. There was just a picture up on the screen, and it just showed the picture for an hour.
There's just a guy with a book, and he was flipping through the pages as fast as he could. And little dog was jumping across the screen. I think the first movie, wasn't it something about a rocket ship going to the moon?
Oh, yeah, the old black and white one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think we had the band
first
scored
movie,
it.
First movie or first moving picture? Which one you looking for?
The first movie in the movie theater. Like, what was the first public?
I believe it was
movie?
Carousel, but I could be mistaken.
Well, we have to look that up. Now I gotta know. All right, maybe we'll have that for the news.
Yeah.
And today's birthdays is Hans Christian Andersen was born today
Frozen.
in 1805. maybe he got to go to see the movies. I don't know. He would have been
He
about
wrote the
65 years
stories,
old. Yeah.
yes.
I think that also ties in with a national day today, which is National Picture Book Day, National Children's Picture Book Day. What's up?
And my daughter's birthday.
And your daughter's birthday.
Happy birthday, Kathleen. She always
Kathleen.
listens. The big 2-1.
Kathleen.
Wow. Whoa. She's 21?
Yeah.
That means we're all getting older
Yeah.
in a hurry.
Except me.
And Marvin Gaye was born on this day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
What's going on? Today is also celebration of Autism Awareness Day. So take a look at, because there's a color you wear for autism, isn't it? The multicolor. It's like the puzzle piece with the
Yeah, I know.
multicolor. I'm trying to remember exactly what it is.
I know Calhoun used to wear one. Sorry.
We'll curse on that. We'll have them look that up as well. And finally, it is also Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. It is Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. Nothing goes better together than peanut butter and jelly. Over to the sports desk with Mama Manning.
All right. Good morning, Woodland. We had a great day in sports yesterday. Oh, you are correct. It's the puzzle pieces.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, very good. So softball lost to Watertown yesterday.
Really?
3-1. Baseball slammed Watertown 15-3.
Nice.
They're on a roll.
Boys tennis slipped to Watertown 2-3.
Well, they're so close every
I
single
know,
time.
each time. I don't have the softball score. But we must talk about last night. NCAA.
Oh, yeah.
2 incredible games.
That if you watch both, you are not disappointed.
Holy cow. Iowa, 1 seed against an 8 seed LSU. Destroyed LSU 94-87. What a game back and forth.
Well, Iowa did pretty well, but Caitlin Clark pretty much destroyed them with 41
did.
points.
41 points.
Yeah. I don't think they could have painted their 3-point line wrong and put it all the way out the half court, and I don't think it would have
Didn't matter.
mattered.
Yeah,
No.
she was
She's
shooting at the
amazing.
logo.
Yeah.
Yep. Second game.
Oh, yeah.
3 seed Huskies against number 1 USC. And if you didn't watch it, guess what, baby? Huskies took it.
They brought it home.
They brought it home 80-73. They were hot in that second half. And what did they do? They had a lot of defensive rebounds, solid defense, and their shots were going down. And USC just froze in the end.
Well, it's amazing that they only have like 5 girls that play
Yep.
the majority of the game.
Yep.
3 of them play 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Mule had 4 fouls on her by the third.
Yes.
Who else? I think Edwards had 4 as well.
Yep, she had 4.
And then
Yeah.
they missed 7 free throws in a row at the end.
You
where
got to
they
make
coulda-
those.
Yeah, but well, they're exhausted.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
That distance gets to be a little further away. I think after all that play, 2 days, 2 games with only 1 day off.
Tough. It's
Yeah,
tough.
they're going to need their rest if they're going to get past Iowa.
And
So-
if you look, I don't mean to interrupt you here, Coach Manning, but if you look at their bench, the
Oh, yeah.
players they have sitting on the bench could be a starting 5 for almost
Yeah.
any team in the country that
Yeah.
are sitting there in sweat. It's
7
a
injured.
merit to
Right.
what they've
7
done this year
injured.
with the injured players out.
Yep.
Yeah, and they all are like in the game the entire
Oh,
time. They're all
intensive.
ready to represent and step out on
Yep.
that court when they can, and they just can't.
Yeah. And I love Paige Beckers. You know, she pops threes from all over the place. No celebration. She goes back on defense. She doesn't cheer until the end of the game.
Old school. She goes old
She's
school.
old school like the mom.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yep.
Yep.
Friday, the women play against Iowa. That's the later game, 9:30. First game is South Carolina against NC State.
Yeah, should be a good one too.
And the men on Saturday play. They're in the second game also against Alabama, 8:49. And the first game is Purdue and NC State, 6:09.
Well, I'm glad that one's on a Saturday because the
That's
Monday
good.
game was late.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
tough. Don't check in with me later. I might be out of gas too. I don't know if I can make my free throws.
And that's the sports with Mama Manning. Over to the news desk with Tomlin.
Morning, couple top stories Saturday. First off, the World Central Kitchen charity halts Gaza operations after apparent Israeli strike kills 7 workers. Iran vows response after strike it blames on Israel demolishing its consulate within Syria. The cargo ship in Baltimore, their owner has sought limited liability damage for a deadly bridge disaster in Baltimore. Under U.S. law, this is a key component to beginning the process of determining who's at fault, et cetera, et cetera.
That's going to take some time.
Yes.
A lot of untangling.
Oh.
Yes.
Well,
They opened the port though. They got.
Oh,
they
yeah.
got a
just going to say that
in
a
and out.
channel has opened for vessels clearing wreckage at the Baltimore Bridge collapse site. Officials say the U.S. Coast Guard has opened a temporary alternate channel for vessels clearing debris. Google will be purging in a major lawsuit. Google will be purging billions of files containing personal data. Turns out that its incognito window is not as incognito as one might believe.
That's going to cause concern for a lot of people.
136 million people in the U.S. have surfed in incognito. 136 million
Wow.
unique users.
A lot of eyebrows just raised.
All right. India heads to the poll today with a population of 1.4 billion people and 970 million voters. India is the world's largest democratic election, which is kicking off any second now, actually.
All right.
All right. Luke Carter, the final USS Arizona survivor from Pearl Harbor on December
yes.
7th, passed away last evening at age 102.
Wow.
God bless.
Yeah.
Up to him.
And if you're a registered member of a political party in Connecticut, New York, Rhode Island, or Wisconsin, today is your day to go vote in your primaries.
All right.
Enough said.
Get out there and vote.
I have one last news story for you that's more pertinent for us older people. There's a proposal in the Connecticut General Assembly that would eliminate Connecticut car tax
Ooh.
Good news.
All right.
by raising the property tax. So Senate Bill 450 would take $5,000 off of a car value this year and slowly work down to 2028 when your car tax would be eliminated. However, the increase the real property assessment ratio from 70% to 90%.
He always knows how
Holy
to end
cow.
his newscast with a story that's
Oh.
disappointing.
The biggest disappointment of the day, however, is I'm fact checking you, Mr. Amato, and I find no evidence to your earlier statement about the movie theaters.
Really?
Yes. So on December 28th, 1895, in Paris, France, the very first movie ever, workers leaving the Luminaire factory. The Vitascope Hall opened in New Orleans in July of 1896.
That's what I got. 1896.
July
On July.
of 1896.
All right.
In Washington,
Got the year right.
Iowa State
The
Theater.
Vitascope Hall. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I have all that.
I was going to say because Washington Iowa State Theater opened. It's the longest continuously operation theater in the United States. It opened May 14th, 1897.
All right. Well, and there you have it. So in July, I'll be posting that again.
There you go.
All right. All right. That's the news with Tomlin. This morning, our guests are from the Woodland Golf Team with Dean Norton and Mike Magas. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's the weather been for you guys out on the golf course?
Well, it's been typical New England golf weather in the end of March, beginning of April. It's been wet, soggy, cold, damp, windy. So it's been a little struggle out there the first couple of weeks.
I know the saying is in like a lion, out like a lamb. Would you say it's going out like a lamb when it ended?
An
or is it-
angry lamb.
You do have to watch out for those angry lambs. Yeah. So what's on tap for this year? What's our home course? We're still up at Oxford.
Oxford Greens, yeah.
How do we like that course?
I think it's pretty good personally. Like as a player, I think playing on it, it's super open, and also, it's when it comes to courses in Connecticut, a lot of people do go to Oxford Greens, so it's definitely nice.
Very challenging.
Yeah, very.
Now, how do you run practice on that? Does everyone just get in their own car and go over there?
Yeah, we have no transportation to get there. So the players and myself, we have to find our own way to get there. Luckily, I could drive. But before I even go any further, I just want to give them a shout out because they let us play over there for free. They're
Wow.
very hospitable. Colin Waldron's the general manager there. So they've been really nice working with us and with the kids. And, we all gather there. Then as soon as we get there, we're the first group out. There's
Really?
3 other schools that play at that course.
Do they
Oxford.
host all the schools?
Oxford, Seymour, and Woodland. So we are the
Really?
first school that shows up and we get right out.
Wow. All right. Good for that.
Yeah.
Now, do you play 9? Or do you have a set amount of holes you're able to play after school?
Just 9.
Just 9?
Yeah.
Do you have a preferred 9 over there?
Yeah, I think 9 holes is kind of suitable for high school. Like I think 18 can kind of be long sometimes. If it's a tournament, then I think it's necessary, but I think 9's good for that course.
And typically what they'll do is when we play matches against other schools, we'll play the front 9. So we practice the front 9.
Okay. So when you're practicing, what does a practice look like? Is it just a round of golf, or do you take a few extra off the tee? Do you check some extra wedges from the
Yeah, definitely. There's
fairway?
a lot of extra shots. Like if someone wants to like get an extra shot and say they go right or left or whatever OB, they're like, hey, can I get an extra shot? We'll allow that to happen because I think in practice you want to get the shots that you're going to see in the actual match. So there's no reason to. I mean, obviously we take a seriousness to it, but there's also some extra shots. Yeah.
Now, there's other people that are coming out to play golf while you guys are practicing. So does that slow the rest of the play down, or you're aware of the people that are around you, or are they aware of you, or that schools are coming on to practice with the golf team?
Yeah, one thing I stress to our players, which is very important in the game of golf, is pace of play. We got to keep up. So if you're going to practice, make sure that there's no one behind you waiting. If you do practice an extra shot, there's no practice swings before it. Just hit the shot and let's move along. So we do it appropriately at the right time, and it's worked out really well. The kids have really embraced that concept of, hey, if we have time to practice, take a few extra swings. If not, let's move along. And sometimes the kids we have some newer golfers, so they may knock down some shots. So I say, hey, let's pick it up. Let's move up 100 yards and try from up there just to keep the play moving.
Because you're the only sport, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that really doesn't have a private facility to practice on.
It's tough for us. Yeah, it's really tough because, we have a couple sites, and actually I'm going to talk to the team later. We're going to practice probably indoors tomorrow. The weather doesn't look good this week. So I have a net at home. I'm going to bring that in, a piece of turf, bring that in, and we'll find a big hallway and swing into a net tomorrow. So it's definitely weather dependent, our sport.
All right.
To the 10th.
Do you have a favorite hole that you like to play? Is there like one at Oxford you're like, oh, I know this is the one I want to?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's the 6th hole. It's a short par 4. So it's definitely one that can be taken advantage of. Like, at worst, you want to be hitting in a bogey or something like that because typically your drive can either reach the green or be just short of it.
And what is your favorite club of choice?
I want to say the 7-iron just because I find myself hitting a lot on the course. It's like that 140 to 150 yard shot. So if I can find it in my hands, I typically have the most confidence with it.
Who do you have on the team that's going to be some of the standouts that you're looking at or seeing them grow already in the first couple of days of practice?
Well, Dean is our captain, so he's one of our top players. And Elias Carmack is a junior.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Sharkey, another junior. Well, the guy's better than I do. I'm getting old. I can't remember.
We got Tate, new addition to the team.
Tate George. Yep.
Another new player, Arcadius, is new as well.
Oh.
Matt Scarlato.
Yeah.
We have a couple young ladies on the team that are doing Sarah Kennedy, Blake Rankin, Lily Miko, Gunner Miranda's playing.
Nice.
So we have a team of 9. It's a smaller team, but the kids are dedicated to it.
That's all that matters sometimes.
Yeah.
Who's going to be your biggest rival or competing school?
I feel like that's usually going to be Naugatuck or Seymour. That's typically the games that we find ourselves to be closest in, like when it comes down to the score at the end. So, I mean, sometimes they'll be with just in like a stroke or two. So, yeah, I think those are our most competitive games.
And again, we talked about Watertown earlier. Sometimes they are one of the hardest teams to beat in the league because they have a course in Watertown that the course Crestbrook embraces them to come up and play whenever they want. They have a driving range on the facility, so Watertown's always very tough.
Extremely difficult.
Along with Holy Cross.
Yeah,
too.
sorry. It's an extremely difficult course as well.
Yeah, Crestbrook's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
No spectators for your meets.
No spectators.
They don't encourage spectators, no.
I've been told to get off the course.
Especially if I hit the ball. You want to stay away from the fairways if I'm up there hitting.
And I like how you pair up. So you got 2 playing together, 1 from each school. So I like that.
Yes.
Maybe we can work with the
Combo.
drone class and have them,
That's a good idea.
Wow.
film a couple of your games or whatnot, and we'll get that out on
Good
Hawk
idea.
Headlines. So,
Track the balls.
last question is like, how do they score? So, is it an individual all added up, or is it the teams that go out? How does it score?
Yeah, so golf, much like tennis, it's an honor system sport where you have to count every stroke you take. Even if you swing and miss the ball, it counts as a stroke. Each player will keep the opponent's score.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm playing against him, I'm going to keep his score. He'll keep mine. We'll check at the end of the hole. I'll ask him, what'd you get? He'll ask me. I'll still write down my own score, but I'll write down his score. We have 5 players competing, in dual matches. At the end, we take the top 4 lowest scores. So it's the opposite. We take the top 4 lowest scores. We match ours against the other team's top 4 lowest scores. The team with the lowest score wins, isn't it? It's strange, right? Golf is strange.
Yeah.
So we didn't score much. We won.
That's right. That's almost the antithesis of sports. Yeah. Do you have a handicap?
I haven't quite gotten mine exactly, but it's gonna be roughly like around 10 strokes for 18 holes. So that's just what like I've gotten from just kind of taking my score over time. But there's like an actual way you can do it, I'm pretty sure, and you can get your.
But you don't use that for actual gameplay.
We don't.
That's
actually
okay.
We don't use that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right. I hope it doesn't rain, but if you do get to come inside, maybe I'll come up and swing with you wherever you're at.
You're always welcome. You're
On
always
behalf of the
welcome.
golf team, we have Mr. Magas and Dean. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And on behalf of the show, she's Mama Manning. He's Tomlin. I'm Amato. Good morning, Woodland.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Morning Mayhem podcast. Morning Mayhem is broadcast live from Woodland Regional High School in Beacon Falls, Connecticut, each and every school day. Follow us on Spotify, Anchor FM, or wherever you find your latest podcasts. And for more information on the show, upcoming guests, and past episodes, visit our show website, morningmayhem.show.